here's your conservative, but not bitter host, Todd Huff.
That is right. You are listening to hour number two here of the Todd Huff Show. It's good to be here. Thank you for joining us. If you're on YouTube, please take a moment to subscribe to our channel. Share it with friends. We're trying to reach as many folks as possible. You know, this program is primarily, first and foremost, it's been a talk radio show. It's on radio. It's on KYAH 540 AM in Utah. It's on Freedom 95 in Indianapolis. Also can be listened to as a podcast, but now we're streaming on YouTube, and it's good to be here. Thank you for joining us. Help us to reach more folks with the conservative, not bitter message. I got to tell you, it would be nice to have less bitterness in this country. I'm not even saying it can't be intense. I'm not even saying that it can't be, we have a time where there's heightened emotions here. I'm okay with all that, but bitterness and rage and rioting, that's where we try to draw the line here. I ended the last hour of the program. By the way, you can listen to hour number one. Listen to hour number one of the program on Facebook. You can also download it as a podcast as well, or on the website, toddhuffshow.com/listen. And I was wrapping up last hour talking about an emotional support llama that attended the protests in Portland. Happened on Tuesday. I don't know why I'm just finding out about this on Monday. Actually, I found out about it yesterday. But why am I just now hearing about this? Emotional support llama. I suggested, as we were talking about cities that were looking to defund and even dismantle the police force, that maybe they should look for a team. Maybe that's the solution. Maybe we have emotional support llamas out there, because reading the article, it sounded like people were, this just changed people's lives as they knew them. This made people happy. This made people, as they watched the llama galloping past, I don't know if this thing was doing tricks out there or what, but this llama definitely caught the attention of folks. Emotional support llama. No, it's not just a llama that spits at people and it has a bad temperament. This thing is out there causing smiles and everything in the city of Portland, Oregon. Of course, again, in the city of Portland, this has to pass as just a normal day at the, through downtown Portland. Probably don't even notice this stuff. But anyway, I said that, for these cities that are looking to dismantle or defund the police, especially dismantle, because they've already, when they look at defunding, they're wanting to send that money elsewhere. But again, you're going to have to address the issue of crime, right? You're going to have to address the issue of crime in your city, and maybe some of these utopian cities will look to the llama for preventing future crime. But let's talk about that. Let's talk about the dismantling of the police force in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Of course, this is Ilhan Omar's district, Minneapolis. She's there speaking at a rally or whatever it was over the weekend. We've got Jeremiah Ellison, son of Keith Ellison. Keith Ellison's now the Attorney General in Minnesota, and his son is on the city council. His son has actually come out in support of Antifa, and he was being asked. I watched it here on Fox as I was getting ready to start hour number two. His son was being asked, hey, what is your plan? You want to dismantle the police force? Now what? And they're basically saying he and Ilhan Omar, it's not, no one here is advocating for chaos. We just don't want police. And Jeremiah Ellison said, hey, plans got to start somewhere. In other words, I don't have a freaking clue. I don't have a stinking clue as to where we're going to start here. But we're not going to have a police department. We're going to dismantle this. We're going to rewrite what law enforcement looks like. Again, what does that even mean? I guess they're going to tell us. Maybe if you put up signs that say, please obey the law in your city, I guess that will that'll help people do this. I don't even know what they expect to happen here. But I do know the idea of not having... Look, we can talk about police using excessive force. We can talk about police powers expanding. We can talk about that as a constitutional conservative, as one who's concerned with liberty and the rights of citizens to, I don't know, be secure in their persons and to not be subjected to overly powerful law enforcement agencies of the direct arm of the state, and we can have those discussions. Right? We can talk about that. We can talk about lots of things. There are problems with law enforcement, certainly, but to say that there's systemic racism and that the actual officers are the problem instead of policy or instead of some of the things they're being taught to do or to enforce or not to enforce. I mean, take the issue of sanctuary cities, for example. That's a problem with law enforcement. It's specific to certain cities, certain states, but they're told specifically, do not enforce this, do not work with our federal government, don't do anything about it. If you detain someone for something and they are not legally allowed to be here, we don't even want to know that. Just protect them. Don't turn them into ICE. Don't cause that whole problem. Like there's all sorts of issues with law enforcement in general. I don't mean the officers. And of course, there are individual cases and problems. Of course, no one's suggesting there's not. No one's ever suggested there's not. But we've now reached a point to where we've moved from simply talking about that there is a problem, and now they're starting to provide solutions. And you just look at the solutions. And I got to say, I think my llama solution, my no drama llamas running the streets of Minneapolis would probably be better than just completely dismantling the police force. If they're going to do this, they're going to jump into fairy tale land. They should jump head first, and let's get a team of no drama llamas out there. Why not? Save you money. You could, it fits right in line with any of your other utopian, silly ideas as to how the real world actually works. But what are the solutions here? They still haven't told us. They just know that they're going to dismantle the police the police force in the city of Minneapolis, Minnesota. And then what? How is this not going to have a negative impact on crime? I referenced this article earlier, and I'm going to look at this now. Got to pull this bad boy up. Where did I see this? I think someone shared it on Facebook yesterday, and I think Oz also shared this with me. But we need to decide. We need to decide what we expect of our police force. We need to decide what it is that we expect them to do. I'll read a bit of this. This is from policeone.com. Kathleen Diaz is who wrote this. Now, the article date says January 1st, 2020. I don't know if that date's right. It's New Year's Day. I suppose it could be, but that's the date it says on here. This is the headline: a letter to the American public. Why you must decide what you want from cops. If you recruit well, conduct thorough background checks, and train constantly, you can have a human with a kind heart and good ethics. But you can't have perfection. This article, by the way, is reprinted. So this is where it's been shared with me. But this was actually first posted at the Rural Badge blog, RURAL, Rural Badge blog. So it's time for the American public to decide what we want from law enforcement: warriors, counselors, guardians, priests, social workers, magicians. Do we want the cheapest cops possible, or do we want well-trained and well-screened cops who are equipped with every tool needed for every possible eventuality? Or do we want the beat cop from Granddaddy's hometown with nothing but a smile, a wheel gun, and one set of cuffs? Really, we want it all. admit it, we do. And we want it all without paying for any of it. Every officer needs to be an empathetic, well-spoken, SEAL-trained ninja with double majors in psychology and social work who considers the job a calling and has no bills to pay, no nerves to fray, and enforces the law completely objectively while also using discretion at all times unless it's going to result in arresting or not arresting the wrong person at the wrong time for the wrong thing in the opinion of every member of the public. So, that's a very good summary of really the expectation. Again, please don't misunderstand. Don't misunderstand. This isn't meant to be a blanket statement to say that there's never a clear violation by a law enforcement officer, that they've done something inappropriate, illegal, immoral, whatever. This is more of a generality that says, what are we really expecting to be the case here? What are we trying to accomplish? What do we expect them to do for us in general? If that person existed, she writes, he wouldn't work for you. So we've got to deal with what exists, and what exists are humans. Humans are fallible, and their bodies are frail. Their brains play tricks on them when they're under stress, and then keep them from sleeping by replaying the stressor on an endless loop later, trying to find ways to fix whatever went wrong. Humans come in varieties. Not exactly like dog breeds, but close enough that the analogy works. If you need a bite dog, you don't start with the golden retriever. Possibly you can teach the golden to bite on command if you're persistent enough and mean enough, but in the process, you'll ruin everything that made him a golden to begin with. Now translate that back to people, warriors, soldiers, and great war generals alike, like Patton, may live for the fight, but they don't always play well with others after the battle. They can be harsh. They can use bad language in settings where you wish they were polite. They find humor in ugly, dark places that just frighten the rest of society. They're not always nice. If you want only a cuddly, soft, empathetic officer whose first response is always a soft answer and compassion, you can have that. She'll never embarrass her chief at coffee with the cop. He'll present well on camera every time and remind you of someone's grandfather. He'll be the perfect SRO until there's an active shooter at your kid's school. Suddenly, society insists on a warrior. They want the demon Malinois, 55 pounds of rawhide, spring steel, and gator teeth, driving into the gunfire and doing anything it takes, anything, to keep the children safe. And once the threat is gone, society wants the Malinois to morph back into the therapy dog. They want the warrior gone, the counselor returned, the off switch thrown. That's not how it works, and it's not fair. I tell you now, the unicorn doesn't exist. You can't have it. What you can't have is a human. So she continues here, but you see the point. And I'm long in this segment. Oz is trying desperately to get my attention as I'm reading from that article, from that blog. Again, this was originally posted in the Rural Badge. It's a blog reprinted here at policeone.com with permission, written by Kathleen Diaz. So as we begin these discussions, or as we continue these discussions on what happens, what are the next steps with police, policing, what are the solutions, actual solutions to the problem? And I want solutions. As I said last hour, I want people to tell me now what? Now what? And if it includes dismantling and defunding the police, you're going to have a hard time getting a lot of people on board. If it includes reparations of $14 trillion to ostensibly 45 million black Americans, you're going to have a really a really difficult time. Those really are not acceptable positions for many, many Americans. Anyway, wanted to share this. Got lots more to say about this. Lots of things to delve into, including Drew Brees, including some politicians, some Republicans who are now openly on record saying they're not for Trump again. Surprise, surprise. One of those includes Mitt Romney. And look, we're on in the state of Utah. Share with me what you think about that, and I welcome that. Todd at ToddHuffShow.com. You can also call the Huff hotline, 317-455-5250. But anyway, all sorts of tangents or things that are relevant to the discussion, but there's lots of, I guess, proverbial rabbit trails that this discussion goes down. And so we're going to try to address a couple of these things that are important, I think, but nonetheless that have stemmed from the tragic death of George Floyd here now a couple of weeks ago. So that being said, time to take a time out. You're listening to Conservative Not Bitter Talk. I'm your host, Todd Huff, back in just a minute.
Looking to make a conservative, not bitter fashion statement? Check out our apparel online, including brand new items at toddhuffshow.com/shop today.
It's been said that we often make the mistake of hiring people based upon what they know, yet we almost always fire them because of who they are. If you've ever made this mistake when choosing a company to do work on your home, you know exactly how agonizing this can be. The company may offer quality products, have certified technicians, offer a stellar warranty, but they're late, or they hit you with hidden charges, or they're rude, or worse. Why not get the best of both worlds by choosing Economy Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing? Economy installs high-quality trained products, and they're trained and certified to provide the absolute highest levels of expertise in central Indiana today. And they provide the kind of service you'd expect from a Christian company. In fact, they specifically seek to deliver a Romans 12, 10, and 11 kind of experience for each and every job they do. So call Economy Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing today at 317-831-5279 or visit economyheatingandair.com. That's economyheatingandair.com.
Do you use the expensive blue or yellow pills to charge your sex life? Are you thinking about it? What if we can promise you the same results for less than $3 a pill? If you're paying $20 a pill for the other pills, you're getting taken to the cleaners. Our pills deliver the exact same results for less than $3. You'll save more than $16 a pill for the same results. And right now, radio callers will get 44 blue or yellow pills for $120 with free discreet shipping. You can save more than $700 off pharmacy prices. Charge your sex life now and save a ton of money. Call now and get your 44 pills and save over $700 and qualify for free shipping. Stop overpaying and call right now.
800-764-9168. 800-764-9168. 800-764-9168. That's 800-764-9168.
If you own a rental property, you know the hassles of marketing, renting, collecting, and the handling of maintenance and repairs. One call to Zuluscape can put an end to your property management headaches. Zuluscape has over 20 years of experience helping landlords throughout central Indiana and taking the stress out of owning a rental. From A to Z, let Zuluscape handle it all so you can enjoy owning a rental instead of hating being a landlord. Give us a call at 317-663-8485 or visit our website at Zuluscape.com.
This is the sound of your typical do-it-yourselfer in completely over his head.
For heating, plumbing,
and electrical done right.
Call Mr. Quick. Call Mr. Quick. Dial the number, spell the words. For on time.
You rely on your vehicle every day. It's not a member of the family, but you spend as much time with it as most family members. You wouldn't take your family to just any doctor, so don't trust your vehicle to just any repair service. At Raymond's Auto and Truck Repair in Plainfield, we have well-trained, caring technicians that have the expertise to get you back on the road. For 25 years, we've been servicing personal, commercial, and fleet vehicles. Give us a call at 317-838-7112 for the car service you deserve.
Healthcare is expensive and complicated. Did you know that as a Christian business owner, it is possible to provide access to affordable health benefits for your employees? Remodel Health has helped employers across the United States save over $22 million in the past 3 years. Our innovative approach allows your employees to have the health benefits they need at a cost you can afford. Go to remodelhealth.com/Todd to help your employees find the health care they deserve. Remodel Health. Rethink employee health benefits.
Welcome back. So let's revisit. Let's go back to this Drew Brees, his comments last week when he said that he would never agree with anyone taking a knee during the national anthem. And this, of course, caused outrage from individuals. This, of course, upset people. This upset teammates. This upset the NFL, other players in the NFL. Again, some on his team, some not. Drew Brees has been, has been attacked for believing that. And, of course, we're lectured here a little bit on some things. Sorry, I'm looking at a picture of Biden taking a knee, wearing a mask. Tell you what, the pandering here is quite remarkable. But anyway, we're told that this is not about the national anthem. And see, I have a basic, simple question to that. If it's not about the national anthem, then why are you doing it during the national anthem? I understand. Look, I understand if you're trying to get attention for a matter, right? If you're trying to get attention, you do something when a lot of people are watching, okay? You do something that maybe even gets under people's skin a little bit. Don't pretend like that has nothing to do with this. Now, you can say, ultimately, it's not about my disrespect for the national anthem or the flag. Okay, then why do you keep doing it? You have our attention. Now tell us what it is you want us to hear. Nope, instead you keep kneeling. You keep kneeling. And see, a lot of us, we see that flag, we hear that anthem. I mean, are they not aware, by the way, what the anthem is? The anthem, the national anthem, is a time where we celebrate, if you will. I don't like that term, celebrate, in the sense of, celebrate our differences. Like that, those aren't things that celebrations to me actually revolve around, I don't know, events, accomplishments, things like that. Not to celebrate some person. I guess you could say you're celebrating a person at their birthday. Okay, I can get there through a stretch. But anyway, we're celebrating, we're recognizing, we're paying respect to this great nation, this nation that, candidly, and that's something else. I think about this. What would this country look like without America on it? Or not? What would this world look like without there being a United States of America? This weekend, and I normally talk about on D-Day. D-Day was June 6th, 1944. This weekend was the 76th anniversary of when we stormed, our men stormed the beaches of Normandy to begin the final process of liberating a nation that was under the control of a lover of big government, a radical, insane, dictatorial, complete, just a horrible human being, vicious, evil, wicked, Adolf Hitler. Right? Simultaneously, by the way, we were fighting against another maniacal regime, the Japanese in the southern Pacific. Taking that inch by inch ultimately led to us choosing to deploy the atomic bomb on the cities of Nagasaki and Hiroshima in August of 1945. But so what would the world look like without a United States of America? I think some folks believe that the United States of America is the root of all ills. The United States of America is not perfect. The United States of America is not perfect, but it has still routinely been a force for good, been a force for liberty, been a force for freedom, been a force for stability. I know people want to blame the United States, but can we imagine how unstable the world would be? Even though it's look, I'm not suggesting it's very stable now, but how much worse would it be? What would Putin be doing? What would China be doing? What would these places be doing? What would North Korea be doing? Who would they be lobbing missiles towards? Or take your pick. What would Castro have done? What would Venezuela have done? What would happen in the Cold War? Think about that. No United States. No, I know you can't necessarily pull an event from history, because if there wasn't a United States, what would have happened in World War II, right? Would we have succumbed to fascism worldwide with Hitler? What would have happened? Let's say that we still won World War II, but there was not a United States, and as communism began to spread, and there wouldn't have been an opponent for the Cold War if the United States didn't exist in the 1950s and through the 1980s, right? I mean, so the world is a much better place for the United States. And so these are the sorts of things that I think about when I'm listening to the national anthem. Look, that flag does not, to me, I think, again, abortion, I believe, is reprehensible and evil, especially certain types of abortion. Where people can, I suppose, of course they can have opinions, but it doesn't change. Opinions don't change facts. I mean, we're terminating the life of a human, an unborn human, even granted in early stages of development, but still a human being, right? We're talking about earlier, all lives matter. To me, it's important to determine what someone thinks about life. We can see that when we look at something issue like abortion. But anyway, the point in bringing that up is simply to say this: I think it's reprehensible, inexcusable. I mean, I get some of the arguments. I understand, and the difficulties in some of these extreme circumstances. I understand it, but abortion has become largely an issue of convenience for people, right? They engaged in sexual activity. They became pregnant. They decided, I'm not ready to financially support a child, or I'm still young, or whatever, I'm too old, or whatever the reasoning is. And then they say, I don't want to have a child. I want to abort that child. And I think that that's terrible. I do. And so the problem is, and again, this is a blanket thing. If this describes something you've done in the past or someone that has done in the past, this is not meant to stir up old feelings or, heap additional guilt. That is something that's over and done with. That has been atoned for at the cross. And I invite you, if you haven't, to fully accept that grace and forgiveness. I'm talking about ongoing, happening today, right? I'm talking about what can we do to prevent this sort of situation from continuing. And so, but it would never cross my mind to kneel because of my nation's viewpoint or perspective on abortion. Wouldn't think about that. And if I did, maybe I kneel once, get the attention, and then explain, brought the issue to light. Instead of continually doing it. Don't be telling us that we're looking at it wrong. Why can everyone else use symbolism in a protest and, but we can't have our own form of symbolism, which is stand at attention or with our hand on our heart, admiring, being grateful for the nation where we live, the greatest nation on earth. Again, certainly not perfect. Certainly there are racists and all sorts of bad people. Christian haters too, by the way, in this country. This issue of systemic racism versus individual racists. These are worthwhile discussions, but I think when the dust settles here, we realize that we're dealing with problems from individuals. And if there is an injustice, we need to seek to remedy that. And in the case of George Floyd, we're definitely on the road towards pursuing justice. Now, there still is going to be a trial, or who knows if they'll actually go to trial, but a lot of people saying, no way, why would you send this to a jury? Because you're not going to find an unbiased juror. By the way, that's something else I've been thinking about. If we all came to a definitive conclusion on the George Floyd case simply by, and again, I'm not saying that the video is not problematic. I just relate it back to my time of serving as a juror. If they're expecting everyone to make a final determination on everything that should happen to Officer Chauvin based upon a video, what's just? Really, they're asking all of America to just, not that we're looking for people in Minnesota to be jurors eventually if this goes to trial, but you're basically disqualifying everybody. The whole point of being a juror is that I go in with the ability to be fair, to listen to the evidence presented and only that evidence and make my decision based upon that. That's an important component in our nation as well. Our system of justice, that's being thrown out the window. That's one of the things as well that makes this nation great, is our system of justice. Something else I think about sometimes when I'm standing and respecting the flag and just being grateful. To me, it's about being grateful and thankful for those that fought. Don't tell me that I can't have those feelings. Don't tell me that I can't remember those men who died, especially here a couple days after the 76th anniversary of storming the beaches of D-Day. We lost 4,500, or I don't have the exact number, thousands of men died storming that beach. It was awful. Ultimately led to one of the greatest feats for in the 20th century, for sure, right? The liberation of a continent from the maniacal dictator of Adolf Hitler. Anyway, really long on this segment, but I find it problematic that that those of us that love America can't have a problem, even if we understand that it's not about the country, although it is kind of about the country. You listen to some of the things that Colin Kaepernick has to say. It's absolutely about what he thinks about our country. Anyway, long in this segment. But Drew Brees, I want to get back to Drew Brees. He's, again, not just apologizing for the third time. His wife's apologized again, well, for the first time, I think, on social media. And Drew Brees is now targeting some comments to Trump on social media. So we'll talk about that when we return. Sit tight, be back in just a minute.
Like what you hear on Todd's show? Why not get more by signing up for Todd's free Semi-Sweet Morsels of Truth newsletter? To subscribe, visit toddhuffshow.com/subscribe or text HUFF to 31996.
Hi, I'm Greg Hubler from Greg Hubler Chevrolet. You know, a promise can get lost in a big city, but in a smaller town, a promise made had better be a promise kept. That's why the Greg Hubler Promise covers every vehicle we sell. All new Chevys receive a 3-year, 45,000-mile scheduled maintenance, plus complimentary roadside assistance and a free car wash with every visit. A promise made is a promise kept. Stop by Greg Hubler Chevy today or visit GregHublerChevy.com. Find new roads.
The printing industry has changed a lot since we opened for business in 1931, but what our clients expect from us really hasn't changed. Quality print, fast turnaround, and competitive prices. We've learned a lot at Moeller Printing over 86 years and 3 generations. Why not put that experience to work for you? Call 317-353-2224 and mention discount code RADIO to receive 10% off your first order. Call Moeller Printing at 317-353-2224.
Radon is an invisible, odorless gas that kills more people than drunk driving. In fact, radon is the leading cause of lung cancer in non-smokers. Is radon threatening the health of your family? Call Radon Environmental at 317-843-0804. Radon Environmental specializes in radon testing and mitigation. The process is quick, easy, and worth it. Radon Environmental wants to make sure your family's health is not at risk. Call 317-843-0804.
When life is hard for the women you care about, there is help with issues such as widowhood, anxiety, depression, or abuse. They don't have to go through it alone. Peace Restored is there to walk with women through the journey. Peace Restored helps women through free mentoring, counseling, and education. When life is hard, Peace Restored is there to help women you care about find hope and healing. To learn more, visit peacerestored.net.
Ever ask yourself, what does my business insurance actually cover? Well, at AIA and Avon, we think you deserve to know. AIA is focused on earning your trust. We've found that when we educate our clients and truly listen to them, they allow us to work alongside them to put together the insurance plan they need. Whether your business is big or small, give AIA a call, 317-718-1747, or find out what we can do for you at AIA4lowrates.com. Advertisement sponsored by Grange Insurance.
Hey Indianapolis, by now you've probably heard about Jody Dowdle with Midwest Tax Group. Jody and his team are experts at helping you prepare your personal or small business tax returns. You can count on Midwest Tax Group to get every deduction possible and work for your higher refund. And not just on this year's taxes, they'll check your prior returns for any tax savings you may have missed for free. Are you behind on filing your returns? They can file past due returns and help negotiate with the IRS, too. They complete most tax returns within a week and charge an affordable, flat fee, no hourly billing. And as their client, you can consult with the team at Midwest Tax Group year-round at no charge. Midwest Tax Group has 4 office locations in Castleton, Greenwood, Plainfield, and Greenfield, with evening and weekend appointments available. Schedule your appointment today at 317-288-5260. That's 317-288-5260. Or visit their website at mwtaxgroup.com. Midwest Tax Group can help you more than any piece of software ever could.
Are you an electrician, plumber, or handyman looking for an 8-to-5 job that pays you what you're worth? Copper Ridge Home Services wants you. Our veteran-owned family business offers holiday pay, weekends off, and on-site training for entry-level positions. Our team is growing, so if you have a can-do attitude, we want you to be part of that growth. Ready for a change? Give Copper Ridge a call at 317-839-6100. That's 317-839-6100. Copper Ridge Home Services. We value your time.
Welcome back. So, told you I would share this. Look, I'm not real comfortable about this. I think Drew Brees is a class act. Drew Brees he's from Texas, but he attended Purdue University here in the state of Indiana, West Lafayette, which is hour and a half, maybe 2 hours to the north of where I am. And I know someone that played with him in college. I think he's a class act guy. I really do. I think he's a straight up class act. But this whole stuff that's transpired since his comments last week. First, he's had 2 apologies. He's had a post on Instagram where he came out and, talked about how it was inappropriate and hurt others by bringing up the national anthem again. He was asked about it, by the way. Then there's a video on Instagram where he apologizes. Then over the weekend, I think, let's see here, 2 days ago, he posts something. Instagram's a place where you post images. So all this images is a gray kind of box with white letters on it that says to President Trump. Right? So he's going to Instagram to post something to President Trump. This is what it says. Through my ongoing conversations with friends, teammates, and leaders in the black community, I realize this is not an issue about the American flag. It never has been. I've shared my thoughts about that. We can no longer use the flag, to turn people away or distract them from the real issues that face our black communities. If it's not about the flag, then don't continue to make it about the flag. Don't continue to kneel when the flag is on display during the national anthem. If you want to say that was the stage where they could get people's attention to talk about an issue, then fine. But don't tell us that it's not about the flag when the central part of a protest is the kneel during the anthem. Remember, Colin Kaepernick this guy walks around wearing Shea t-shirts. This ideology is the antithesis of our constitutional republic. And have we lost the ability to point out these very important things? Are we going to not be able to explain the dangers of an ideology just because someone is trying to make a point that's, apparently you're politically insulated against any other viewpoints at this point in time? Should I not be able to point out that Colin Kaepernick wears Shea t-shirts? Literally radical socialist. Anyway, he continues here. We did this back in 2017, and regretfully, I brought it back up with my comments this week. Again, Drew, with all due respect, my friend, you were asked about this. There's nothing wrong with thinking it's good to stand for the anthem. There's nothing wrong with saying that's not the symbolism there should not be that you have a problem with it because of how important the flag and your grandfathers in this military, the people that have sacrificed for this nation are. You don't have to apologize for that. Anyway, he continues, we must stop talking about the flag and shift our attention to the real issues of systemic racial injustice, economic oppression, police brutality, injustice, and judicial and prison reform. We're at a critical juncture in our nation's history. If not now, then when? We as a white community need to listen and learn from the pain and suffering of our black communities. We must acknowledge the problems, identify the solutions, and then put this into action. The black community cannot do it alone. This will require all of us. Again, no one's saying, I know of no one who's saying that we don't want to address real problems. We're going to be on different pages, as we already are, with things like defunding the police. Are you on board with that? Drew Brees, is that the solution? That's what the community of Minneapolis, through their elected representatives, the council there, the city council is prepared to do. Is that the solution? Defunding? Actually, that's not just defunding, dismantling police. Defunding police in other cities? Is that the solution? I mean, look, this is complicated. There's lots of viewpoints. We should listen. I said that at the very beginning. We should be empathetic. We should seek to understand. But now that we're having a conversation, just because I'm white doesn't mean that I don't have opinions on policing. I mean, we should be able to have. If we're silencing people because of some identity, racial or otherwise, how is that good? We've been told all the while, democracy. Trump is threatening our democracy. Well, how's it good for our quote unquote democracy, even though we have a constitutional republic? But how's it good for our democracy when you're telling white folks that they can't have a voice? I just think that it doesn't mean that we shouldn't listen to black folks. Of course, black folks have a voice too. They should be heard. I'm not suggesting that there's a white way. Look, there's a just way, right? Justice doesn't know any color, folks. Justice comes from our Creator God, and God doesn't look at us as He looks at us as His children. Right? He looks at us as His children. He doesn't play favorites. He doesn't have any of that. He loves us all, and we're all required to do justice, love mercy, and walk humbly with our God for those that are Christian. And look, you can't tell a group of people to shut up. You don't understand. You can say, listen and try to be empathetic and figure out, really what's going on as it pertains to your black brothers and sisters and friends and all that, of course. But it doesn't mean that being white means that we can't have a voice here. That's nonsense. In fact, that's dangerous. That's dangerous. I don't understand. I don't understand how quickly we're willing to throw away some American principles. And I'm long in the segment. Got to take a time out. Be back here in just a minute.
Listen to Todd's show on your way to work, but want to hear more? Don't miss a beat. Visit toddhuffshow.com/listen to catch the program anytime, anywhere.
The compassion of Christ compels us to stop what we're doing and seek that person out. I think as Jesus went, in that famous song I sang as a little kid was Zacchaeus, come down. Zacchaeus was in a tree and he wanted to engage with Jesus, but he just couldn't. And Jesus stopped and He went over to him. If we are going to live a life of compassion, the compassion of Christ, are we willing to stop and seek those who need a touch of compassion today?
Seems like just yesterday that you couldn't find a quiet place to think in your home. Now all the kids have flown the nest and you find yourself wondering what to do with all of that extra space. This is Bruce of Bruce Richardson Realty. My team and I understand that life changes, and so do your home needs. So whether you're downsizing or upsizing, give us a call at 317-507-3285. Let us help you find the best fit for your residential or your commercial property needs. 317-507-3285.
Healthcare is expensive and complicated. Did you know that as a Christian business owner, it is possible to provide access to affordable health benefits for your employees? Remodel Health has helped employers across the United States save over $22 million in the past 3 years. Our innovative approach allows your employees to have the health benefits they need at a cost you can afford. Go to remodelhealth.com/Todd to help your employees find the health care they deserve. Remodel Health. Rethink employee health benefits.
I love my community, and I wanted to do more to make a difference with my hard-earned dollars. I wanted to make an impact and help shape our future and our county. So I gave money to the Community Foundation of Morgan County. More than just charitable giving, the money I donate is tracked and measured so every dollar is held accountable. It's a social return on your investment. Why don't you join me in donating at cfmconline.org? That's cfmconline.org. Philanthropy with measurable impact.
What if your bank treated you like a person instead of an account number? What if you could sit across from the person you are opening an account with or requesting a loan from and have an actual conversation? You may be thinking, Todd, that's crazy talk. Well, not at Citizens Bank. Come visit them in Monrovia and meet Nick Gibson, their new branch manager, and the rest of their staff. Or give them a call at 317-831-0110. Citizens Bank is an equal housing lender and member FDIC.
Hi, my name is John Swadner, Sales Director of the Todd Huff Show. As a listener of the program, you know the show is growing. 4 years ago, it began as a podcast in a closet. Today, it's a 2-hour show that airs during morning drive in Indy and in Utah, and we're just scratching the surface. Todd brought me on board to help the show and our advertisers grow. That's why I'm specifically looking for partners who are a good fit to advertise with us. Would that be you? To learn more about what advertising would look like and to determine if it's a good fit for your business, shoot me an email to john@toddhuffshow.com. And be sure to ask me about some of our special packages that will save you up to 40%. Email john@toddhuffshow.com. Shoot me an email today.
Welcome back. So, again, so many things can be easily misinterpreted and misconstrued during this. And I know that that's why a lot of people are reluctant to talk about this. It's uncomfortable. You know, we know that we don't understand. For those of us listening who are white, we know that we don't fully understand what it's the perspective of black Americans. And we accept that. Well, hopefully we accept that. And so folks don't want to talk about it. And then they become so passive, right? I mean, but I don't have a problem pointing out that, I mean, this is still our community too. And we can't idly sit by and watch as this is used as a vehicle whereby some radical leftist ideology is implemented, and then the rest of us have to sit there and be quiet. That's what's dangerous about this, right? The political. I'm talking about the political implications, right? You cannot silence a group of people based upon their race. Now you can say no one's telling them they can't shut up or they can't talk, but what they are telling us effectively is you shouldn't talk. In fact, they told Drew Brees that. Remember Malcolm Jenkins? Drew, sometimes you should just shut the blank up. That's not, again, we've been told for years now that Trump, threatened our democracy. Meanwhile, there's a whole movement designed to tell white Americans that they can't have an opinion on this, so they can't talk about this because it affects the black community. I look at this differently. I don't think that, accepting that doesn't not say that if I accept that I only care about justice for my group. That's insane to me. I care about justice for humanity, folks. Born or unborn, black or white, Asian, Hispanic, it doesn't make any difference to me. Right is right, wrong is wrong. And in those areas where it's actually within the purview, the responsibility of the federal government to do something about it, I stand on the side. consistently of justice, regardless of the race of the person who that justice needs to be applied to, right? A black, white. I mean, that's acting like I'm not part, because I'm not black American, that I suddenly don't care about justice for black Americans. That's preposterous to me. It's truly preposterous. Anyway, got to stop, take one more break, come back and wrap up. You're listening to Conservative Not Bitter Talk. Sit tight, be back in just a minute.
Is it possible to be a fan of the show if you don't have the gear to prove it? Why not be safe and remove all doubt? Shop for official merchandise at toddhuffshow.com/shop today.
The compassion of Christ compels us to stop what we're doing and seek that person out. I think as Jesus went, in that famous song I sang as a little kid was Zacchaeus, come down. Zacchaeus was in a tree and he wanted to engage with Jesus, but he just couldn't. And Jesus stopped and he went over to him. If we are going to live a life of compassion, the compassion of Christ, are we willing to stop and seek those who need a touch of compassion today?
All right, here we go. $100 down, $200 back at $300.
I went to my first firearms auction a few years ago. It was hosted by TJ Freege, one of my good friends from high school, who is a champion auctioneer and one of the best in the business. In spite of objections from liberal legislators, I walked away with a .22 rifle and a few boxes of ammunition. And I had a great afternoon with my grandpa that I won't soon forget. If you've ever wondered what treasure you could find in an auction, visit FreegeAuctioneers.com and take a look at their upcoming Central Indiana auction schedule. That's Freege, F-R-E-I-J-E, auctioneers.com. Visit FreegeAuctioneers.com.
Hi, I'm TJ Freege, owner and lead auctioneer at Freege & Freege Auctions and Marketing. I invite you to come see the power of live auctions. It's fast, it's fun, it's transparent, and it's the absolute best way to ensure you get fair market value for your asset today. Get results, go auction.
Geothermal tax credits are back, making this the perfect time to install a new Climate Master geothermal system. Take advantage of this limited time 26% tax credit and begin cutting your heating and cooling bills immediately. Visit indianageothermal.com/info to get your free Climate Master information kit or call 317-829-1490. Visit indianageothermal.com/info or call 317-829-1490. Geothermal, it's cheaper than you think.
Business leaders, are your employees satisfied with their jobs? Do they enjoy coming to work and feel valued? Workforce Chaplains can help. Locally owned, we work with organizations to provide holistic care to their employees. I'm Marcus Schrader, president of Workforce Chaplains, and we offer your team a 24/7 support system that positively affects your company's culture and productivity. With our personalized pricing and diverse support system, we handle the issues that you wish you had time for. To learn more, visit us at workforcechaplains.com.
What if your bank treated you like a person instead of an account number? What if you could sit across from the person you are opening an account with or requesting a loan from and have an actual conversation? You may be thinking, Todd, that's crazy talk. Well, not at Citizens Bank. Come visit them in Monrovia and meet Nick Gibson, their new branch manager, and the rest of their staff. Or give them a call at 317-831-0110. Citizens Bank is an equal housing lender and member FDIC.
Anxiety, depression, relationship problems, past trauma. Problems rarely get better when given time. Care to Change Counseling can help. Our professionals combined evidence-based care models with scripture to get you on the path to a productive life. We are here to help you make the changes you need for a healthier, happier you. Take that brave step today. Call Care to Change at 317-790-9396 or visit caretochange.org.
All right, that is about all the time that we have today. But I do hope that, again, to wrap up last segment, that if you fall into the category of being intimidated or feeling like you need to be quiet on these issues, that you feel empowered, that you seek to understand. I'm not, suggesting that we that you have all the answers that I do, but seek to understand, but also know that we live in a constitutional republic, of course, with democratic aspects, and we can't silence people on these things. So don't be afraid to speak out. These things matter tremendously. I've got to go. Have a great day. SDG. See you tomorrow. Take care. As a listener of this program, I have no doubt that you embrace the value